I'll talk about it in a second, but before I do, I am sick. So if my voice sounds off to you, or if I have to suddenly mute my mic, you know why. The show must go on, as they say. So we are here.
Well, we'll hang out until your voice gives out.
Yep. Also, speaking of which, Task and I were supposed to do a Lions on last Friday, and I was already sick, so we're supposed to do it this Friday now. So set a reminder for 1 p.m. Eastern on this Friday, and Task and I are gonna do that Lions. That's going to be specifically about Rafiki. We've got a lot of Rafiki updates from the team, so we will do a full episode just focused on Rafiki this Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got all the announcements out. So yeah, let's do a little Leokit session. So
Nice. So question
yeah,
number
so
one, how do I make
is
all the
that question
money
one?
from Leokit?
Well, you can make a lot of money from Leokit in many ways. Leokit, first of all, earns 10 basis points on every swap, and that goes to the SLEO contract for Leo stakers. So same as LeoDex pulls up in that contract that is claimable by stakers. So that is how everybody on Leo gets paid from Leokit effectively. I just dropped a link to the Leokit landing page. Also, by the way, this is the first time we've had a landing page in I don't know how many years. I kind of refused to have landing pages for a while because I felt like a lot of things in our ecosystem were changing so rapidly, and also the general product of Leo for so many years was in Leo. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense to have a landing page for something like in Leo, as it's pretty self-explanatory. But when it comes to products, like actual products that we're selling, for example, like Leokit, it makes a lot more sense to have a landing page, in my opinion, where potential integrators basically just need like a quick 30-second rundown of what it means to effectively what it means. So and how it works and how it'll work for them. So Leokit's landing page is the link I just shared. Go check it out. Hopefully you see we put a lot of time into all of this stuff. It's aimed at B2B integrators. So obviously everybody in this threadcast is basically a retail user of Leo products. This one is for businesses who want to integrate cross-chain swaps and need an easy way to do that. So Leo, let's start with, and there is also a blog post like that too. There's a blog post on the main account that I'm going to drop in the threadcast right now. So you're welcome to go read this blog post. It's not too long, and it explains everything about Leokit and how it all works and how to use it. So Leokit is a cross-chain API. So what that means is it's basically a very simple connection that can be added to any application, wallet, or interface. And anyone who adds it to their app can have cross-chain swaps. And it literally takes like minutes to integrate it. It's super easy. The harder part of integration is actually like on the wallet side. So it's one thing to just add cross-chain swaps, which is what Leokit handles the entire process of. It's another thing to be able to like send crypto and things like that. So you have to add wallet capabilities, and that's obviously on the wallet side and the app side. So if you already have a wallet or an app that supports any level of crypto, adding Leokit is extremely easy because you're already supporting the ability to like send crypto, for example. And really what Leokit is the secondary part of that, which is okay, your user has Bitcoin and they want to go to Ethereum. And let's say that you're a Bitcoin wallet right now, or let's just say you're a wallet app in general. If you don't have cross-chain swaps already, and you want to add cross-chain swaps, you can either go out to each individual protocol, learn about the protocol, integrate the protocol from scratch, and then you obviously have to manage that integration because those protocols are always changing. I mean, literally every single day there's something new with one of these protocols, and you need to update the integration. You need to stay relevant and stay up to date with everything. Otherwise, you'll essentially have, random issues that will pop up, and eventually your integration won't even work anymore. And I would say that if you're not managing it on a daily basis, you're going to run into issues. So with LeoDex and Leokit, we obviously already build all of this stuff, and we already maintain it all. So if you want to see Leokit in action, like a demo of it, you just go to LeoDex. So go to leodex.io right now, and you'll see that it automatically fills in an ETH to Bitcoin swap. And that swap is powered by Leokit. So the quote for that swap and the actual performance of that swap is all through Leokit. So when an integrator wants to add cross-chain swaps, they are effectively adding the backend of LeoDex, which is Leokit, into their app. So that gives you access to 20,000 plus cryptos and over 107 DEXes is what we have integrated in Leokit. And we're always adding more. So whenever a new protocol comes out, whenever anything else is upgraded or updated or new routes come out, we're always adding those to Leokit. So in my opinion, and I've looked at all the solutions that are out there right now, Leokit actually has the most cryptos supported and the most DEXs supported out of all the existing solutions at launch. Steve just asked a good question. Are there any audits, or is it safe because it uses the protocols with audits? Yeah, so Leokit actually just routes your swap through a protocol. So you could look at Leokit is kind of like Uber, right? The Uber app. You could think of it that way. And basically, when someone comes in and they want to go from route A to route B in terms of a crypto token, Leokit is just going to the protocols and saying, "Hey, I have a user that wants to send 1 Bitcoin to 10 Ethereum," and then it interacts with the protocol. It reads back the quote, and then it serves the quote to the user, and then the user then performs the swap. Once the user decides to perform the swap, Leokit just tells the protocol, "Hey, this is what's happening," and a certain memo is sent, and then the entire thing happens at the protocol level. So Leokit has nothing happening at the protocol level. It is just basically speaking to the different protocols and then telling the user exactly what to do when it comes to the memo and how to swap. So Leokit is kind of like this layer, almost like a watchtower, and it's able to just speak to these different protocols and then speak to the user and the application. And it's doing all of this with a very simple API. So it is meant to be extremely easy. It is very easy. I actually vibe code it, and I've been thinking about doing a live stream where I just like vibe code build a Dex web app that is like similar to LeoDex, for example, and I do it all live and using Leokit because I think it would be a great showcase of how Leokit works and how easy it is to use. So I'll probably do something like that in the near future. But Leokit is super easy to integrate. And another good way to look at it, and this is kind of my framework for what Leokit is and how it works, is Stripe. So I've been diving very deep into Stripe, and if you don't know what Stripe is, it's a startup, and obviously now it's pretty big, but it's a startup that allows businesses to accept digital payments with a simple API. And that's exactly what Stripe is. So like if you go to check out on a website, I'd say like at least half the time it's built on Stripe. So the whole checkout flow, the whole checkout process is actually handled by Stripe, but the business obviously is able to connect to their API and that's how they process orders. So Leokit is very much like Stripe. It is a API, but instead of a checkout process, it's a swapping process. So when an app wants to add swaps of any kind, they literally just add Leokit and then Leokit handles everything. So super easy to use, and that's really the way we've built it. That is the kind of like bird's eye view of what Leokit is. And obviously, I think that the landing page does a really good job of explaining all of this. So you can just seamlessly add cross-chain swaps to literally any app, whether it's a mobile app, an extension, an interface of any kind. It is super easy to add. It all happens in real time. If you want to see a demo of it, just go to LeoDex. That shows the live demo. So with this launch, and I've said this a few times, but this is definitely the biggest product we've ever built. So Leokit, what has launched today is the Leokit itself. We also launched the landing page, which I shared the link to you guys. We also launched the Leokit dashboard. So for integrators, we've built an entire dashboard application. Like I said, that blog post shows all this stuff. I'll share a screenshot too. But we launched a dashboard application where the integrators can manage the integration of Leokit. So basically, the flow for an integrator, I'll actually get into that in a second, but the dashboard lets them manage the integration. And then it also, if they want to change anything, if they want to track the analytics of it, they can do all of that. So I just shared some screenshots in the threadcast of what that looks like. The integrators are able to see all this information in real time. If there's any errors, it shows in the dashboard, and then they can see what they need to fix on the integration side, and they can set their own fee. So integrators, the way the fee structure works is Leokit takes a flat 10 basis point fee on every single swap. So that automatically gets sent to Leokit. 100% of that fee goes to SLeo stakers. And then the application that integrated Leokit can set their own fee. So there's a fee configuration page in the dashboard, And when an integrator wants to charge fees to their users for swaps, they can just literally set whatever fee they want to charge, and then they enter their wallet address where they want to receive the fee revenue. So I think the kind of industry standard is most integrators will charge anywhere around like 40 to 50 basis points to their users. So, and obviously they can set whatever they want. I mean, an integrator can set 1,000 basis points if they want, or they can make it free. They can make it 0 basis points. And then the only fee that gets charged is the 10 basis points for Leokit. So the integrator, let's say, sets a 50 basis point fee. So then the user gets charged a 60 basis point fee because 10 goes to Leokit and then 50 goes to the integrator, and the integrator gets paid on every single swap. So when a swap happens, let's say a $1,000 swap happens, the integrator earns, if they set 50 basis points, they're earning $50 on that swap, and then Kit earns $10. So very simple to integrate, very easy to manage. That's the whole point of the dashboard and how it all works. And then the other thing that launched is the Leokit docs. So I'm just grabbing the link for you guys for that. Got it somewhere here. It's docs.leokit.dev. I just linked the docs in the threadcast for you guys. So the docs, the documentation for Leokit, also went in for something very easy, very intuitive. We built this on Mintlify, which allows, the reason why we chose this specific docs hosting site is because you can actually enter the API in, and you can put in your API key directly into the docs. And you can, here, I'll just show you a screenshot too, because it's easier to explain. So if you put your API key directly into the docs, you can actually play with the quoting, and you can go through the entire process of the integration directly on the documentation. So the reason why that's important is just like if an integrator wants to understand how it all works before they start adding the API to their app, they can literally just go to the docs and it walks them through all the different modules and how everything works directly in the docs. They don't even have to leave it. And then they can just get everything how they want it, and then they can copy paste into their app. David Pena just said, how do you get in to Leokit? So good segue to the kind of last part of this, which is in that blog post I shared, you can follow the steps at the end of it. It says how to get started, and that those steps will show you exactly how to integrate Leokit. So step one is to reach out to us to get, you have to request API access. So you use that landing page. This is all linked in the blog post, but use that landing page and it takes you to the contact form. You just fill out like a really short, like your name, your project's name, and then your preferred contact method, Discord, Telegram, or email. And then you can optionally add a little message if you want to send us some kind of message. Then step two, after you've requested access, is that obviously we'll reach back out to you. We'll give you a login to the Leokit dashboard. Then you go to the Leokit dashboard and you log in with the details we give you. Then you generate an API key, and then you use the dashboard to set your fees. So on the fee configuration page, and I'll share a picture of that. On the fee configuration page on the Leokit dashboard, you set whatever fee you want to charge your users. You also enter your fee addresses, which is where you get paid, obviously, all the fees to. And then step four, now that you've done all that, you literally just take the API and you integrate it into your app. And you can use the documentation, again, very intuitive, very easy to do. Use the documentation, add it to your app. Also, if you have issues or you just need help or you want us to walk you through it, you can obviously, once you fill out the contact form, we'll set up a group chat with our team and your team, and then we'll help you with the integration. So we'll do anything we can on our side to make it as easy as possible. Leokit charges fees of any kind, no upfront cost. There's no subscription fee or anything. The only payment for Leokit is the 10 basis points on swaps. So what's cool about that is that you don't actually, like, if you're an app and you want to add cross-chain swaps, it's free. Like, it literally costs you nothing. So the only way Leokit gets paid is if you get paid. So it's if a swap happens on your app, you obviously earn your fee, whatever you set, and then Leokit earns a fee. There's no costs outside of that. There's no hidden costs of any kind. So we'll help you integrate. It's obviously in our best interest to get your integration up and running as fast as possible and make it as easy as possible, because we literally make nothing until you make something. And that is the rundown of what Leokit is. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. We've been, for the past few months, and I'm sure you've kind of noticed, like, our entire dev team has been focused on this. It is the biggest thing we've ever built. Like I said, there's kind of like the three big main websites that obviously went live for all of this. You've got the Leokit landing page, you've got the Leokit dashboard, you've also got the Leokit docs. And then you've got all the back end work that went into making Leokit, obviously. So a lot of work went into this. We've also been working with a lot of integrators who are already adding it to their apps. So you're going to start to see these integrators come online, and we'll do a lot of marketing and PR with them to talk about the integration. Right now, there's really only one other integration method of this caliber that's out there on the market. It's called SwapKit. If you go to the Leokit landing page, there's a comparison table where you can kind of compare the Leokit integration to things like SwapKit and others. So Leokit is cheaper, has more broad support. It has better support in terms of like our team's tech support with your team. It is by far easier to integrate because it's just a simple API as opposed to like a full SDK that you have to integrate into your application. So I think Leokit is going to be by far, and I've talked about this as being kind of a driving goal when I look at anything we build as a team, is what is generating NEI or net economic inflows for the Leo token. I think Leokit is going to be number one. It's going to be the biggest one we've ever done, and it probably will be the biggest one forever. What it is literally infrastructure that any application can add and have cross-chain swaps. So it is kind of like this invisible layer that just operates in the background, and my goal is to get this into 100 applications, 1,000 applications as time goes on. We're just going to keep getting it integrated as much as we can. I'm very excited about what it means for Leo, because this is just like, you know, what you can think of as being very different is that all of the products we built before were B2C, right? So like, in Leo Dex, they're all out there with the goal of how to get users to use those tools so that Leo can generate, economic value. The difference for Leokit is it's all B2B. So we're actually not looking at how do we get users, we're looking at how do we get integrators to add Leokit to their application. And the big difference there is that marketing for a B2B product is significantly different than a B2C product. So with B2B, it's like we need to integrate with people and then do support for them. But then the actual marketing to users all happens on their side, right? Because if an app like, let's say, Control Wallet adds cross-chain swaps, well, it's their job to tell their users and market to their potential customers to use Control Wallet and to use the swaps on Control Wallet in order to grow. It's our job to just make sure that it works well for Control Wallet. So very different from anything we've ever built, because everything we've done is B2C. So I'm excited about what it means to, kind of be focused on this B2B side in terms of Leokit specifically. Another kind of like big thing for the future that I'm excited about, in terms of road mapping, is we're building the LeoDex mobile app. We're building Leo merchants, and we have a lot of other ideas in terms of things to build. Leokit is going to run all of those things. So we were actually building the mobile app, and then we decided to put that on the back burner and do Leokit first, because now that Leokit is done, the mobile app is going to be stupidly easy, because really the mobile app is just interface. So Leokit will run the entire backend for us, and then we just have to build a little interface for the mobile app, and boom, now there's a LeoDex mobile wallet. So that will go live probably a lot sooner than you expect, and it's all powered by Leokit. So again, Leokit is like this invisible infrastructure that just operates in the background, very seamless, and any application can have it, including applications that we build now and in the future. So LeoDex already has it. InLeo is going to integrate it soon. Rafiki is going to integrate it soon, so you'll be able to swap by chatting with Rafiki. And then we've got a bunch of customers lined up who are B2B that are all going to integrate Leokit, and it will just run swaps for them in the background. So,
That's
Mitch,
awesome.
any thoughts?
I mean, you kind of mentioned what was going to lead into my questions, and in regards to target market for Leokit, in terms of, because obviously many people know someone, whether they realize it or not. So it's just like, all right, well, who's the target market? So when people know that, then it can pop in their brain. It's like, oh, well, this would be super useful for so and so, or for this business, or whatever it is. So, I mean, my first thought process is basically, one, like you said, the business to business piece, and then as far as the consumer side, I mean, anyone really like that has a large crypto following could essentially leverage this. If they don't already have their own app, they can essentially just white label using Leokit, right? And then provide the services of LeoDex. So yeah, I was just curious about that. So it sounds like you guys already have partners slash clients lined up, which is huge.
Yeah, we have actually right before this, I was talking to probably going to be the first integrator that actually goes live. They're a massive DEX. So they already have a lot of protocols supported, but they don't have things like Maya Protocol or Thorchain yet. Part of the reason is you can support, for example, like Uniswap and a lot of the EVM DEXs are all pretty easy to support. But when it comes to some of these cross-chain DEXs, especially like Thorchain, Maya, Chainflip, Relay, Near Intense, etc., it takes a lot more work, especially upfront and ongoing. So there's a massive DEX out there that aggregates a bunch of different DEXs, and they've always wanted Maya Protocol and other DEXs like it, and they're integrating Leokit for those. So one thing I didn't really get into about Leokit is that one of the key differences with Leokit as opposed to the other solutions that are out there is I wanted to make it completely modular, where from the Leokit dashboard, I'll grab a screenshot actually just to make it visual too. But from the Leokit dashboard, you can set pretty much anything you can imagine. You can either turn off, turn on, or modify. So, for example, there's over 20,000 crypto tokens that are supported on Leokit. You can literally flip on and off any of those tokens. You can also do it by protocol. So let's say you want to, and I'm just grabbing this without sharing anything sensitive. Let's say you want to support Maya protocol, but you don't want to support anything else, right? Like your Leokit integration, you only want to have Maya protocol. You don't want to have Chainflip, Thorchain, Relay, or anything else. From the Leokit dashboard, and you can see it in the screenshot I just shared, you can actually like toggle on and off which protocols you want, or you can just have them all, completely up to you. And then you can also toggle on and off the blockchains that you support or don't want to support. You can also toggle on and off each individual asset. And then another cool feature is for EVM assets, you can add them by contract address. So if there's like some very long tail brand new EVM asset that you want to support, you can literally just paste in the contract address and you can start supporting it. Actually, a big reason we built that feature specifically is because of Leo strategy. So I'll share this screenshot with Leo strategy assets. Actually, let me get a little bit more here. Yeah, I can do all this. With Leo strategy assets, they're, obviously they come out and they're brand new. They're not immediately supported by DEXs. So we have to manually add them. So a big reason we built this feature where you can, individually add EVMs by contract address is because when a Leo strategy asset comes out and we want to support it on LeoDex, we actually were manually doing all of this. Now, anybody from our team, because we all obviously have access to Leokit, we just go to Leokit and we paste in the contract address and we can add a logo, etc. And then LeoDex immediately supports that asset. So now any integrator has that capability to do the exact same. So again, it's something we built kind of with a unique use case in mind, which was for the Leo strategy assets on LeoDex. But it's something that I think a lot of integrators will find very useful, especially if they're ever launching tokens and things like that.
I'm looking through, not really actually seeing any questions, just more comments and statements. Oh, here we go. Here's a question. Oh, that's interesting. My manga asked, will we get referral rewards by sharing the landing page?
Your referral rewards will come if you're staking Leo, because that means that there's more integrators, more swaps,
There you
more
go.
fees that are flowing to the SLEO contract.
So
But no, right now there's no
that's
specific fee for
that's
referrals.
tough with the just the landing page. So it's a whole other thing if you actually, you know, launch your own swap, so to speak, site.
Yeah, actually, because I know he's a bit of a vibe coder, and anyone else that's listening that's like a vibe coder, you can vibe code, and I mentioned that I'll probably do a live stream at some point, but you can literally, like, if you've ever dreamt of building a business on chain or doing anything like that, you can literally take the Leokit API and vibe code a DEX interface like LeoDex. Obviously, a lot of the features we've built into LeoDex, like perps and things like that, are all separate. But in terms of just the basic swapping module, you can literally build a DEX now yourself. Like, you can build a mod manga DEX. And literally with the Leokit API, it'll take a few minutes for AI to integrate the API into whatever you built. So you can use a tool like Replit, for example. You can go tell Replit, hey, I want to build a cross-chain DEX. I have something called Leokit, which will handle the swaps. Replit will build you a vibe-coded website. You give it the documentation for Leokit. You give it the API key for Leokit. and then it will vibe code the entire interface A to Z. And within literally a day, just a handful of hours, you can have an entire DEX interface that you can then go market yourself, and you can charge whatever fees you want to charge. So you could charge your own 50 basis point swap fee. Go sell that UI now. Go get users to use the UI, and every time someone swaps on it, you'll earn money. So this is like a whole Leokit being so easy to integrate is in my opinion us tapping into the vibe coding market in a big way, because a lot of people want to build things like DEXs, but the hard part is the swaps and the protocol integrations. But Leokit will handle all of that for you. And you can just paste in the documentation to AI and it'll tell you how to integrate. It's super easy. What were you going to say before that, Mitch?
I don't even remember. I was just thinking about what you were talking about because obviously, entrepreneur in me always gets excited where there's an opportunity to essentially create and/or launch another business that's mostly automated. But then I'm experienced enough to know that settle down because every business takes a little bit of work. So, because essentially, basically people can white label a DEX, using Leo
Exactly.
Kit. So the only maintenance side I'm thinking of from a business perspective is troubleshooting slash customer service. Like if someone has an issue with their swap or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if someone has like customer service side is, obviously you do, for your users, let's say you are a mod manga Dex, and someone comes and they do a swap and something's not working, that's for you to do the customer service with that user. But if there's something on the Leokit side that you need help with, that's when you reach us. And like I said, when you reach out to us to get integrated and we give you the API key and whatnot, we'll already have a group chat. So you can just message us, even if it's something that's not related to us. If you have an issue of any kind, you just drop us a message and we'll help you, figure it out. So,
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
and that's a key part of LeoKit, in my opinion, is like, and I took a lot of feedback from other people in the industry who have talked about, these other integration methods. And one of the biggest complaints is a lack of good support. So with LeoKit, we've changed that, and we have 24/7 support.
I mean, that holds true, at every level. So, because at the end of the day, they're a customer, so to speak, of, Leo Kit, essentially, right? So, customer service. And then that customer obviously has customers and they got to provide that same customer service. And it's a trickle down effect. So,
Right.
service based businesses can't get away from that piece. I mean, you can automate some of
Yeah.
it. Obviously, that's what you hire people for, but
Yep.
that's cool. It'd be cool to see some people white label their own Leo decks.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely can. I mean, with LeoKit, you can build your own decks of any, and not even necessarily a dex. Let's say you want to build just a crypto app of some kind, and you want to put cross-chain swaps on it. I mean, that's what LeoKit will just handle the swapping part, and you can focus on the other part. For example, let's say you want to build like a mobile crypto wallet. Well, there's nothing related to DEXs when it comes to a mobile crypto wallet, but a lot of times you may have users that want to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum inside the crypto wallet you built, so you can build the crypto wallet and then you can use Leokit for the swapping part and then monetize those swaps.
So the real question is when said large existing DEX is officially live and integrated through LeoKit, I'm assuming then there'll be an announcement on who that actually is.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it will be very widely announced. But there's a couple of these integrators where I think you're going to see them and you'll be like, holy shit, no way. And we obviously won't announce them until the time comes because that's how they are.
So obviously, yeah, launch till it's official and live, but that's
Right.
awesome.
So, but yeah, there's a few that have, for example, one is a huge name in crypto that if you're in crypto, you know their name,
Nice.
and they are a wallet. They're specifically a crypto wallet. You know their name. And when the integration for them goes live, I think you're going to be blown away by the fact that that's even possible for a little engine that could called Leo.
That's what
There's a lot of apps out there that have wanted to integrate cross-chain swaps. There's a lot that actually already have integrated cross-chain swaps with some of the competitors I've mentioned, but they're just very unhappy with the solution. That's what kind of drove me to build a lot of this stuff is we built LeoDex. We obviously built LeoKit to handle LeoDex, but we didn't make it publicly accessible right away. We had a lot of work we wanted to do first. But one of the things that drove me is that People are so unhappy with the existing products that are out there in terms of how do you integrate cross chain swaps. And with Leokit, I knew that we could do 100 times better than what exists on the market today. So that is what we're going after is let's get every application wallet interface integrating cross chain swaps, make it very easy to use, make it very intuitive, have really great support, have low fees, and then continuously innovate. And that is the engine of Leo. You guys all know this, is that we don't just launch something. So look at the landing page for Leokit today, look at the docs. If you request access, then go look at the dashboard or at least look at the screenshots of it. And just know that the way we've launched all Leo stuff, we always start with the MVP and we innovate and iterate very quickly. So Leokit, obviously, since it's B2B, one thing you'll notice is that it's much more refined than any of the other products we've ever launched at launch. So obviously, when you launch a B2B product, a lot different than a B2C product. We want it to be as refined as possible from day one. And then we can innovate and add new features as we go from there. So this is obviously the most refined product launch we've ever done. Hopefully you guys notice that when you look at any of this stuff, it's like rather than us launching like a super MVP bare bones product, this is the V1 of Leokit is obviously vastly more progressed than our other stuff. And the reason why is because it's B2B. So it's amazing to see in just a few months that we've built something that a lot of other teams and integrators thought was either impossible or would take years to build a competing solution that is better from day one. And we've done that with Leokit. So if you're an integrator that already has cross-chain swaps or you want to have cross-chain swaps, I don't think there's a better solution out there than Leokit. And this is just day one. And we are going to be look back on this a year from now and Leokit will be even better. And guess what the beautiful thing is? For the integrators, they add the API and then they have to do absolutely nothing. Because as we innovate and add new features to Leokit and add more DEXes and add more tokens that we support, all those integrators that have the API, they literally don't have to change anything. The API just automatically picks up on all those new integrations. So like I said, right now we have about 107 DEXes. Let's say that in the future, over the coming months, we add 3 DEXes a month or 5 DEXes every so often. Any integrator that has the API automatically gets those DEXes because they have the API already integrated. So it is the integration to end all integrations. Once you have the API, you literally are off to the races for cross-chain swaps. Everything is covered A to Z. Something I didn't mention too, there's a lot of like sub products and services that will come with Leokit. So one of them, for example, that's already live is a transaction tracker. So what that does is this will lead into a potential other product we can build. What the tracker does is it's a part of the API where integrators can have a status. So if you've ever done a Leodex swap, you know that there's a little status icon where it says when you click swap, it says indexing, then it says swapping, then it says processing, and then it says completed, right? So that is called the status tracker. We built that into Leokit. So if an integrator wants to have a transaction tracker that goes from indexing to completed, literally it's all covered in the Leokit API. They just click a button and it's there. So what that means, I keep talking about the future that Leokit is creating. I have an idea to create basically a block explorer for cross-chain swaps. Leokit will power that explorer because Leokit already does all this stuff, right? Like it's the API. We just literally connect the API and it's done. You build the interface, connect the API, and you're done. So if an integrator wants to have their own block explorer built into their wallet, they can just make an interface, tap into the Leokit API, and now they have an entire block explorer built into their app as well. So Leokit is extremely modular layer that you can just build blocks on top of extremely easily.
So I can create cat swap.
Cat swap, do it. I mean,
Who's
I
up?
literally could show you how to use something like Replit and build it in a few hours or
I mean,
less.
listen, that I'm up for. Here's the thing. I need someone to volunteer to become customer support because I ain't doing it. So,
What you could do is you could have AI customer support, do an AI integration,
eh, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm still not vibing with
or
AI
hire
customer
someone.
support.
The thing is,
Well,
if you have
exactly.
customer support that needs to be done, then you're probably making money because
Well,
otherwise you wouldn't
exactly.
have customer support. You're making money on every swap, right?
Well, that's why I said a volunteer because at first
Yeah,
it probably would be unpaid, but then there'd be really no work to be done. And then as volume picks up, it can scale. The pay can
exactly.
scale. turn it into a partnership. Can make all the monies. It's funny.
Yep.
Well, it's and that's funny, when you talk about like the business to customer side or whatever, like if I had a crypto following, this is something I'd 100% jump on. But since I really don't, like, in real life, I more have a real estate, investing following. And, you know, that's not so yeah, they get interested in crypto here and there, usually during, peak bull markets. So, but yeah, for anyone that's got, a crypto audience, I mean, this makes, I think, a lot of sense. It's low hanging fruit, so to speak. You provide a service, but you can actually, earn on it. And it's without you having to sell anything, right? As opposed to, a lot of influencers that, are selling some kind of product, service, subscription.
Right.
Um, this is literally just providing a service that someone's going to use regardless, and they're going to pay their fees regardless. So why not use one that, you're offering? So yeah, I think anyone
Yeah.
that's got a substantial crypto following should white label their own decks all day long.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at some of the, crypto influencers on X. I mean, they might think it's out of reach right now, but imagine that they could have, let me just try to think of someone like Crypto Wendy
Yeah, and she
and
she she's
people
got
like
an
that.
account on High/Leo, so it's not like she's unfamiliar. So that actually, yeah, that might be an influencer worth contacting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've talked a little bit about doing this, like, live stream where I vibe code a DEX app. I may just, like, do this live stream and also open source it. I was just thinking about that. That might be a good idea because then you literally, if you're an influencer, then you could just fork it and put your logo. Maybe I'll just make it super easy. You just fork it and put your logo on it, and it'll already have Leokit integrated.
I mean, that's
Done.
truly, yeah, that's truly being able to white label something where
Yeah,
you don't even have to build. You basically, like you said,
you
you
do
essentially
nothing.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
because that exists in traditional business and traditional finance. I mean, I know like a buddy of mine has like a shipping company. It's completely just white labeled. Like it's a big shipping company, and he just basically, white labeled to create his own company, but everything is done and fulfilled, through that big shipping company. All he
Yeah, I
basically
mean,
did was just create.
white
Yeah.
labeling is a massive industry, I mean, in
Oh,
general.
100%. Yeah, people don't realize
Yeah.
how many businesses are actually just white labels. So,
Yeah.
and in traditional markets and just kind of like internet 2.0, it's like all it is essentially you build a website and then you just plug it into, that big company's back end. So, which is exactly what
Yeah.
my buddy did with the shipping thing. So,
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of the world runs on that.
Well, I got a feeling at least one lion's gonna create their own swap. It'd be fun to see who does it.
Yeah, I would love to see someone from the Leo community do it. I think it's like I said, I plan to do it and live stream it just for fun, but I'd love to see someone else do it. I think it would be awesome. And I would love to see them earning. Like that would be really cool. And while you're doing it, you're earning for yourself, but then you're also earning for Leo because, 10 basis points goes to Leo stakers directly.
Win-win.
So it is a win-win for everybody.
Interesting question. She asked, any audits coming, or is it safe just because it uses protocols with audits?
Yeah, I answered that one.
Oh, did you? I must
It's
have.
yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, it was like right at the beginning.
I'm gonna crack my energy drink.
Yeah, it all the swaps happen at the protocol level. So I kind of like compared Leokit to being like Uber. It's like
Oh, yes.
yeah, like Leokit's connecting you to the protocol and nothing else. So there's no money flowing through Leokit. It connects to the protocol. Protocol does the swap. The fee is sent to the proper addresses. That's it.
It's funny. I see quite a few people in the comments. Leo Kits has got them excited, feeling like that gets us that much closer to Leo merchants. Not that they're
Yeah.
related, but also one project's kind of finished now. Leo merchants is something that I personally probably would be able to leverage better based on like my network and community, so to speak. But
Well, Leo
I
Merchants
forgot
is
all about Leo
actually
merchants.
yeah, Leo Merchants is actually a subset of Leokit. So, essentially it's the same thing as Leokit. It's just the routing is a little bit different, right? And the way things are handled are slightly different. But Leo Merchants is actually a part of Leokit. So So yeah, we are closer to Leo merchants now, which will be truly like a Stripe. Like I still look at Leokit as like Stripe for cross chain swapping, but Leo merchants will be like Stripe for that like crypto payments. Like it will literally be like Stripe, but it will be all, like crypto payments. So for example, you go to a business, you can like pay in Bitcoin, but the merchant wants USDC, and that will all happen through Leo merchants, which actually is Leo Kit, just working slightly differently because it's like micro transactions. But yeah, it is a key part of Leo Kit itself.
Nice. I mean, that's a whole
Yeah, there's a
nother
lot.
market. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is a whole other market. That is like a whole IRL market, which is the focus for me is with Leo merchants. I actually think we should tap into IRL and onboard small businesses. There's a lot of transactions that get handled by small businesses where I think there's an untapped market there for crypto payments specifically because it's not something that scales in terms of digitally. You're competing with a very large companies when you try to compete digitally. For example, you go after online businesses or Fire Amazon or something, or you go to local small businesses who might be doing $1 million a year in transactions, and you say, "Hey, have you ever considered having crypto supported at your gas station or
Well, and it's funny you
7
mention that
Eleven?"
because it's a demand. Like I saw I'm in this blue collar business Facebook group or whatever, and I literally saw someone asking about, "Hey, does anyone have a reference on integrating crypto payments easily into my business?" And it was like a decent sized business out in California, and I was just like, in my head, I'm like, "Well, no, but soon." I know, So there's demand for it for sure. I mean, I think that's a market that has so much potential meat on it,
100%. I
but
mean, that's like trillions. I mean, that's literally
yeah,
trillions with Visa, Mastercard, Amex, etc.
it's wild.
Yeah,
Let's see if we got any
Makashima
other
said,
questions. Go ahead.
selling influencers an open source DEX where they can slap a logo on it is perfect. The friction would be next to nothing. Time to contact those hustlers and drop ship type of people. Yeah, I agree. I think it would be if we have something they could just literally white label and host on their own and have cross chain swaps for their audience. That could be a cool little market that I don't think anyone's tapped into.
Yeah, I think your idea with the kind of like the vibe quoting and then just being able to fork, I think that's perfect for influencers, right?
Yeah,
Because then
for
there's really no
sure.
work for them. And I mean, I can tell you this: I know enough people that are influencers, like in different industries, and it wears on you. Like you have to constantly put out content in order to make money. And at some point, all of them are looking for a way to essentially have less of them needed in order to still generate an income. So
Right.
something like that, to me, it's got to be enticing to almost all of them.
Right.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
It's like the passive income dream for most of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I never for a while I was posting a lot of crypto content, specifically on TikTok, like I don't know, it was 3, 4 years ago at this point. And yeah, that shit's exhausting, especially if you really don't enjoy it, which I don't. So something like that pops along, I'm jumping all over it. I'm like, ooh, an opportunity to make passive-ish income. And I say passive-ish because at the end of the day, nothing is truly passive income outside of, I don't know, holding bonds, I guess. Like there's always a little bit of involvement, but you can
Something
always
you
make
got to
more
do.
money. Yeah, it's like you do this, you hire people to do customer service, and then really the only thing you do is you're interacting with the people you hired, and that's about it.
Yeah, for
So
sure. I mean, I'm trying to get more people on Leo thinking about, Leo is an economy. That's been my vision for it for a very long time is we're not just building a project or a business of any kind. We're building an entire economy. And if you think of it more
yeah,
like an economy, one idea that popped into my head from what you just said, which I hope more Leo people start thinking like this, is like, okay, well, you've just identified a problem, which is like, let's say we do get influencers who want to white label Leo Kit and make their own little DEX interface, and then they need customer support or customer service. Well, if you're a lion, you could literally create a customer service, a customer service business where you are basically providing that service to people like Mitch, or if there's influencers out there who want Leokit and want to white label a Dex but don't want to do the customer service, well, you could create something that you call whatever you want, Wananda service or Wananda customer service or whatever. And now that's a whole business that you set up, and it's inside the Leo economy. It benefits Leo, it benefits you. That's how an economy is really built. It's built by the people. And I look at that. You can look at any great economy that's ever been built. It is not just built by one person or even one team or one group of people. It's built by many people coming together. So my vision for Leo is not that it's an app or a business or a project. It's that it's a full-fledged economy. And that's what I've been trying to build for many years now is how do we build a full, well-rounded, diverse economy where people can post on Inleo and earn crypto. People can use Leo Dex and earn and trade crypto. People can integrate Leokit and vibe code an application and start a business, or people can spin off some adjacent business that has nothing to do with everything, but somehow is directly connected, like the customer service thing I just talked about. I mean, there's infinite possibilities out there. Actually, I think the best example is Leo Strategy. Leo Strategy is like this independent business that's just been built on Leo, identified opportunities in terms of what services and products can be provided to the Leo ecosystem to expand the ecosystem and make it better. Off to the races, and they've built literally so many things. I mean, it's insane. Like they've built on-chain bonds with Surge. They've built RWAs and a launchpad with tokenized Tesla, tokenized gold, tokenized Nvidia. They're right now building Leo lending. Lending is coming to Leo. If you hold any Leo tokens, you will, I think this month, maybe next month from the last time I talked to them, you'll be able to take out loans against your Leo and take out stablecoin loans. So you can hold Leo, like for example, put up $1,000 worth of Leo as collateral and take out a $500 loan against it from Leo Strategy. And that's another thing that's coming. They're building their dashboard app. They just built the RCBF, which allows you to convert RWAs so that the correlations are tighter. The amount of innovation that can happen if you set your mind to it is incredible. And I think if you look at things like Leo Strategy as an example, go out and build a business inside the Leo economy and work to expand that business. And then it not only generates economic value for you, it generates economic value for Leo, which then benefits you because you're a Leo holder. So that is, it takes a long time to build something like this. And it's kind of like that slowly, but then all at once type of saying,
Oh yeah,
where, yeah, I think people are going to, you'll wake up one day and you'll look back on it and see a
iceberg.
massive economy. What's
Yeah,
that?
it's the iceberg. You know,
Yep,
it's
for
like
sure.
all you see is what's above the water, but then beneath it is like 10x the size, and it's just like that was all the building, all the work. Like I see that analogy in that picture when it comes to all different businesses. Obviously, a lot in real estate too, because it's a slow burn. I liked and posted the X post from Leo Dex, and I also posted it myself and tagged at Crypto Wendio, because why not?
Above and beyond. Look at
We
Mitch
should all
go.
just, if we all tag her, it's gonna pop up enough where it's gonna be like, wait, what is
Right.
this? So
What is this thing and how do I use it?
I can't remember. There's someone in the Hive. It was in the Hive community, I think, that was also active on in Leo that had some kind of loose connection because like they were the person that got her to, you
I
know.
think that was a short segments.
Oh yeah, you're right. Short segments. That's right. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe you can catch her attention again and say,
Yeah,
"Hey,
revive
there's your new
that.
Dex." Apparently, I am not. Since I never go on X. Apparently, I'm not verified on X, so I probably just look like a scammer.
Well, you just
I
have to
gotta
pay.
fix my profile picture too. It's like cuts off half my scaredy cat logo. I have not
Oh,
touched
that's
this in
funny.
years. Wow, I joined in 2017. Imagine if I would have been posting all this time. I probably would have killed myself by now, to be honest. I don't know if people post every day. I don't.
I
Cool.
do,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's to grow
man,
Leo.
it's also common for your generation. I'm in that tweener phase, my Gen X self. It's like I'm old school and new school at the same time. I have to edit my profile. I'm gonna have to update this banner picture. That's no bueno. Maybe I'll just update it to Leokit. Free sponsorship.
Yep. I see a few people talking about support. The difference for Leokit is that, like I said, a group chat is created when someone integrates and they get direct support. So it's different than there's no ticketing for them. It's just direct DMs with the entire Leo
You got
team
That's
for
bat
instant
line,
support.
bat signal. You got
They
direct to
do
the
get,
bat line. You just pick up the
yep, they
phone and
do
it
get a
goes to
bat line.
one place
Yep.
only, bat phone.
Exactly. So the nice thing for that is that most integrators won't actually need anything 99% of the time. So it's like when someone needs something, they just directly hit us and then it's immediate. Also, if there's anything we need to fix on our end, we can do it right away. So it's much different. Again, we need to like reframe our thinking in many ways when it comes to Leokit because it's B2B, not B2C. So it's very different to do
Oh
support
yeah.
for a business to business product as opposed to business to customer. For example, the Leo products in general have over 1,000 individual users. So think about how many tickets come in and how support is handled is completely different for other Leo products that are B2C as opposed to Leokit because we may have, let's say by the end of 2026, we may have like between 50 and 100 integrators. That's very, you have 50 to 100 known integrators who will occasionally need something, right? And when they do, they just DM us versus when you've got B2C, it's like we get new customers all the time. Like on LeoDex, for example, a new swapper comes in today and they swap on LeoDex for the first time. We've never heard of them. We've never been in contact with them. They have some kind of issue and then they have to open a tech support ticket and then reach out to us. And we have to ask them questions. We have to say, what kind of wallet are you using? X, Y, and Z. That is a whole different process than B2B, which is we already know who you are. You already know who we are. We know how your integration works. We also have the API, which gives us data on things where, like, if you need support for something specific, we just look at the API and see the exact error that came in, and then we can support you with that. Completely different to do B2B support than B2C. So that is my little rant. I do a lot of tech support. So I am very intimately aware of these issues.
Oh, it's wild. I didn't realize that technically we're streaming on X. I just went to the Leo Dex
Yeah,
account and I clicked
we
on it,
always
and
stream on X.
I did not
This is news
realize
to
that.
you.
I thought we had so many issues with it and we just stopped using it. I didn't realize it was that's wild.
So X has two streaming options. There's live streaming video, which is more like YouTube Live, and then there's
Okay.
also X Spaces. So X Spaces are what we aren't using anymore.
Oh yeah,
I do
stupid
think at
spaces.
some
I
point we
hate
need to figure that out, but
it.
for
Yesterday
now
went
we're
out.
not.
It was so annoying. I don't
Yeah,
know, but
for now we're
apparently
not going to worry about it.
if someone wants to white label their own decks, they could probably hire for customer support. Seems like she's ready to go. There
Perfect.
you go. We're building businesses, connecting. Someone get it done,
That's what an economy is all about.
right? I don't know that I am not seeing. I don't think there's any other question. I don't see this. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if I see any questions that we have not touched on.
Cool.
I think we're good. You lasted way longer than anyone expected. In fact, I think your voice loosened up as the call went on.
Might have. Yeah, maybe this will make me feel a little better.
Right? You get all the stuff moving around.
I always get fired up talking about Leo, so that's probably why.
This is true. This is true. No doubt. Cool. Good stuff. Well,
Sweet.
always enjoy hearing about the updates. And this, at the end of the day, is why I am an investor in Leo, which essentially is what I am by just holding coin. I mean, and I'm an investor at the end of the day. We all know this. That's what I do for a living. I invest. So one of the reasons that I still hold Leo is because of earlier when you talking about the ecosystem, which is like I saw like kind of like that vision a while back, and I'm like, all right, if this grows and ecosystem can be built, it can turn into something very big. So just a matter of time. Granted, I wish I could figure out a way to help you turn up that timeline, but it is what it is. Apple built its own ecosystem, but that took some time before it became its own big ecosystem and got as huge as it did. So it
It
takes
does take
time.
time.
Yeah, it takes time to build your own ecosystem. But
Yep. But as it happens, it's all exponential.
well, yeah, that's with like anything else, right? There's the slow build, and then you hit that inflection point where all of a sudden, like explosion. So
It's
my
just a matter
goal
of
is,
time.
yeah, I have no, my goal is, and I hope it happens because that means things went very well. But my goal is to be able to look back at some point and say, damn, why did I sell so much Leo at that price?
Yep.
That's
That's what we're trying to get you to.
I'm hoping to have that problem. So,
I hope
and
so.
and
That's
then
what
the
I'm
rest,
building for.
yes, and then the rest you just hold as staked as S Leo and just earn. But
Yeah, just
again,
sit back, put in SLEO, sit back, or take out a collateralized loan
there you go.
from
So, but
Leo
this is
strategy.
yeah, this is investor speak. You are the people that have energy and more youth. Go build something and
Yeah,
get some earns. White label yourself at Dex or do whatever else. I mean, there's so many options,
there's
but
so many things you can do. So many things.
there really is. So, but cool. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone's around next week. So,
Yeah, cool. All right, well, we'll see. Set a reminder, 1 p.m. Eastern this Friday. Task and I are going to do a Rafiki only
mm,
episode. So we'll do a deep dive on Rafiki's current state, the state of Rafiki 2.0, some of the exciting things we've got coming, including Rafiki's own ChatGPT like interface, which will be pretty cool. So that will just be a specific Rafiki deep dive. I know that Task has been lying in wait for me to do that, and just focus on Rafiki. So that will be on Friday. And then, yeah, next Tuesday, noon Eastern, same time, same place for the Leo AMA. Thanks, Mitch, for doing this as always. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you guys next week.
see you on the next one.
Peace.
Later.